Hey YouTubers, this is Jacques from JGP, and I have recently bought the Fujifilm X-T2. I have the kit lens, but I also bought a 35mm f2 from Fuji. I want to talk about this lens and what I think of it. Hey YouTubers, so before I start, I want to tell you guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, make sure you press that little bell that pops up in the notifications when you do subscribe to make sure you're in tune with all the latest and greatest from my videos. So that's kind of cool. Also, stay tuned for a photo shoot with Valerie and a photo shoot with Eleanor. I did a behind the scenes of the actual photo I'm going to pixel peep with this f2. I used the X-T2 and the f2 on that photo shoot. Before I start pixel peeping, I just want to talk a bit about the ergonomics of this lens and how it feels. First of all, it is a nice hefty lens. It's good quality. It has a snubby little look to it, sort of like reminiscent of anything involving Leica, and it's quite nice. I mean, the optics are just fantastic on it. Using it when you actually turn the dials here and stuff like that, when you turn the dials and you turn these, this is your focus dial and your aperture dial. When you turn them, it is really nice. It is not image stabilized. However, it is weather resistant, so that is a nice touch. What I really like about Fuji is that since everything is exclusively aps-c, they design their lens just for aps-c. So when you go out and get any lens, you know it's optimized in resolution for that sensor, which is quite cool. So I just wanted to say that, and now it's time to pixel peep. So I just want to describe this lens a tiny bit. This is Fujinan's 35mm. It is a prime lens. It's an f2. Now, Fujinan also offers the f1.4 version. This lens has 9 elements in 6 groups. 2 of those elements are spherical. What's interesting about the f2, though, is that it offers a lot of stuff that the f1.4 doesn't offer at a way lower price. For example, it has 9 rounded blades for your aperture, which obviously later on can give you some really great bokeh, which I will be talking about soon. Whereas the 1.4 only has 7 rounded blades, so your bokeh might not be as rounded, soft, and beautiful, and ballet, as they like to say, ballet bokeh. As for the form factor, it's quite a stubby. Listen, it's 43mm filter size as opposed to the 1.4's 52mm filter size. So you also benefit from the fact that if you want to have this lens and you want to be very portable and move around really quickly, this is also a better lens for that reason. Last thing I want to mention is that it does also have weather sealing, which the f1.4 also does not have. So it offers quite a few things that the 1.4, which is offered at a higher price, does not have. So I find that really cool. You're getting lots of quality for the package. Now let's look at a bit of the sharpness right now. I just want to show you a couple of pictures. This is LA right here. Let me go over here. When you are at f2 aperture, you are talking about a very shallow depth of field. If you check it out, the back of her head near her ear here is completely blurry. And even some parts, if you can check this Ray-Ban situation right here, you can see that it's starting to get blurry. So her eye is right in. So we're talking about maybe, what, 3 centimeters, what, an inch and a half of depth of field. So there's not a lot of depth of field here. So I think what happens with depth of field, you can definitely say that this camera will give you that shallow depth of field you want. I think f2 is underestimated. A lot of people want that f1.2 and they don't realize that they're literally talking about millimeters of depth of field, not much more. So getting an f2 is not a bad thing. You do have a nice shallow depth of field, and you do have an aperture which will let in a lot of light. As for sharpness, I really do believe that this camera really does the trick. Let me just check that out again. Go in there. See right here near the eye, you can see every little detail of her mascara. It's almost a bit of a drag. Over here, her necklace, we're going out towards the edge, and right around here you can see a tiny bit of purple popping in, but not that much, guys. Not a lot. When you look at straight optical performance, right away when you're working with a prime, you're going to see better quality in your images. You sacrifice the fact that you cannot frame, however. So all in all, I will say that the sharpness on this lens, let me go check a couple of other photos here. That was out of focus. That's my fault. Let's pull this one up right here. See that? Oh my God, look at that. That's just beautiful right here. You can get some really beautiful dramatic shots. You know, she had her hair over, and I just love this shot. Everything about this is just friggin' beautiful. Beautiful shot. The model's great too. Elena is a lot of fun. Again, here's another shot where you can see great sharpness. Really nice stuff. Who's that jerk holding the camera there? What an asshole. Anyways, here, let's go look at the bokeh in the back. See these beautiful round balls. They are really nice. Trueness of colors, I believe, listen, I was there. I think the colors, let it load, are kick-ass. I mean, we're talking Fuji. I'm a real fan of these guys. I really am. I'm basically not the best guy to be reviewing these lenses because everything about these lens workflow, the way you use it, the way you focus with it, how it works on a mirrorless system. It's the first time I'm really truly convinced that mirrorless is a cool thing. And the advantages of mirrorless do pop out when you use the whole Fuji system. So bokeh is stunning. Depth of field is shallow. You don't need, listen, I don't think you have to go under f2. If you ask me. I mean, I will get a lot of comments on that one below. So to conclude, my assessment is you better have a very, very, very good reason to go out and buy that 1.4. And listen, I'd even say that if you want to take portraits and you're thinking, okay, 35, I need the shallow depth of field 1.4, it might still not be a viable option because you're getting such great sharpness out of this great lens at this price range. Also, remember that you're probably getting superior bokeh and weather sealing. So those are things to take into account. So tell me what you guys think of the Fuji F2 35mm prime lens. What are your experiences? Do you guys own it? Have you used it? Have any of you used the 1.4 and can tell me a good reason to go out and get the 1.4 over the F2? I'd really like to know because I just can't see it right now. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for my high quality stuff. Check out Behance. If you like this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up at the bottom. If you want to keep in cahoots with what I do, subscribe. And don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing.